So if you don't follow British politics, you probably won't know that a small group, 11 MPs from the centre ground, the centre, like, globalist ground of UK politics, have broken away from Labour and the Conservatives. These are Chuka who's a Blairite globalist. It's alleged Nazi Anna Soubry, those sort of really middle-of-the-road, up-their-own-arses kind of politicians who have formed what they consider to be like a moderate centrist party that is completely for the previous status quo. You know, they want to remain in the European Union, overturn Brexit, increase hate speech laws, blah, 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 blah. And they call themselves the Independent Group, which is TIG. Now, this actually is not a bad name. They're not particularly independent, and they obviously want to remain entirely dependent on the European Union, but TIG in and of itself is not a bad acronym, because you can call yourselves Tiggers, and then you've got meme potential with the Winnie the Pooh character Tigger, who frankly is probably one of the most fun characters from Winnie the Pooh, certainly one of the most memorable. So you've got a real optics and sort of meme ability there. It's just a shame that the platform they're running on is last week's platform sort of thing, you know, the previous paradigm, and is not going to be around forever, in my opinion. And it was a real problem for the two main parties in Westminster, the Labour and the Conservatives, because it was a bunch of their MPs that were defecting. And that kind of got people scared because, you know, the Tories have been accused of Islamophobia, Labour have been accused of anti-Semitism. Neither one will adopt the other's definition of either of those terms. So neither of them are, they're like, can't be anti-Semitic or Islamophobic if we just don't accept your definitions of it. And to be honest with you, they shouldn't accept the definitions that are being used, because the definitions that are being used are absolutely terrible. But the Tiggers were like, okay, well, we're not happy with a fairly cool sounding name. So the Tiggers, you know, it's an easy thing. It makes them sound like they're youthful and vital and full of energy, which they're not. But it makes them sound quite interesting, exciting, and quite British in a lot of ways. You know, it's something that a lot of people in Britain could relate to, and it would give them sort of natural optics that would work in their favour. But instead, they decided to change their name, because they call themselves anti-system politics. It's like, nah. They've instead renamed themselves to Change UK, which again is highly ironic, given how they want to maintain the status quo. They want to stay in the European Union. They want things as they are. They are not for change. They're actually anti-change. But even the New Statesman, the American version, this one, but the New Statesman, a left-wing outlet, has recognised that TIG is dead. Long live CUK. Change UK is naturally abbreviated to CUK. They are now officially the CUK Party. That's what they wanted, and that's what they're going to get. Because, my God, it's like meme magic is real, and it's just going to keep coming to life over and over and over again. The CUK Party. Really? No one in any of your focus groups, you know, no one around you has been like, you know what, this is actually probably going to give us really bad optics, because they probably call us cucks anyway. And so us adopting the idea that we're being cuckolded, I don't know. But I mean, they've gone for it, and that's it. I mean, this is what the alleged Nazi Anna Soubry put it, a new way of doing politics, which just incidentally happens to be the old way of doing politics. So I don't even know what exactly they think is this new way. So, I mean, apparently it's made of people who have always been apolitical, which is strange for a political party, but carry on. There's recognition that a broader prospectus will eventually be required, and CUK, not TIG, is seeking to spin its registration as having been forced prematurely by the likelihood of a long extension to Article 50. God forbid. We deserve to fail if all we are is anti-Brexit or the opposite of UKIP. Well, that's kind of it, isn't it? You are literally the anti-UKIP, and you called yourselves the CUKs. So, I mean, what we basically are saying is that UKIP need to rename themselves to the Chads. What acronym? Guys, in the comments, I'd like you to think of a good acronym that UKIP could change that would somehow be incorporated into the acronym Chad. You know, what could we do? And the funny thing about this is, as well, is that they're already in trouble over this. They are already in trouble. Apparently, this has pissed off Change.org. I mean, that seems a bit ridiculous to me, because their name is Change UK. Change.org are suddenly like, well, hang on a second, we've got a monopoly on the word change. Obviously, like, this is so silly. I mean, they don't like if they registered UK, I guess, which I suppose would be the thing they go to, is change.org really going to be? I mean, maybe, I guess, but it just seems really petty. But anyway, they're due to formally register as a political party in time for the European elections, and Conservative MP Heidi Allen will be the interim leader, because they are literally just a centrist, milquetoast Blairites who are pro-globalism, pro-cuckery. So Anna Soubry accidentally called the new party change.org in a speech in the Commons on Friday. The party would change the face and direction of British politics. That's why we call ourselves change.org. No, you don't. You call yourselves CUK, because that's what everyone's going to call you. Get used to it. Get fucking used to it. But they were totally independent of party politics. Really, this political party is totally independent of party politics. Very persuasive. I'm sold. I'm totally sold. But yeah, change.org, we're not very happy about this and have whined about it, but who cares? Because what does change.org really achieve? Nothing, obviously. But yeah, so they're hoping to field a substantial number of MEPs from candidates with backgrounds from outside of politics, just like UKIP. But I mean, God forbid that we have to do this, obviously. It looks like we might end up having to, because who knows? I mean, we're due to leave on the 12th of April, but who goddamn well knows? No one knows. And no one knows any of the legality of all this, really. We're in a constitutional crisis. Looks like we're going to be trapped in the EU forever. And we're going to pay €1 billion, €1 billion for each month that we ask for an extension. And that's on top of the roughly €1 billion we give the EU anyway. I honestly can't believe it. And then if we have any kind of deal with them, they're going to request another €39 billion from us. So I don't know why we don't just cut ties. I would be viewing this as a way of, as a form of just extraction, as just a way of taking money from us for the sake of it, because at the end of the day, everything that we do is entirely reliant on us begging the EU for something, and the EU at any point can just say, no, what are you going to do now? Because they know that our parliament is too weak to lose. They're too weak to quit. They are so dependent on the European Union. They're not sovereign in their own heads, so they can't ever turn around and say, okay, well, this is just not good for us. We have to now just leave. We have to just get out of this really unhealthy relationship that Britain now has with the European Union. I mean, imagine. I mean, it's like with it's like we're addicts. It's like our parliament is full of drug addicts. And they're like, no, we've got to get our fix. We've got to get our fix. Well, we know we need to get off, but oh God, no. We've just got to carry on for just a little bit more. Yeah, we'll pay whatever it costs. Whatever it costs, we'll just stay. Please, please, please give us just another fix. It's like, no, just get out. Go cold turkey, Parliament. That's what you need to do. Go cold turkey. Stop being so cowardly about all of this. But yeah, anyway, good luck to the CUKs. I wish them well. I actually did see a poll earlier on Twitter from Britain Elects, the Twitter account, that had them on about 9%, which is surprisingly good for a brand new party, but it's because they've come out of the two old ones. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Britain has its fair share of CUKs, man. We've got loads of CUKs in Britain. 48% of Britain's cuckolded, and they're going to vote CUK, because why wouldn't they? There's no point voting for sovereignty. Chads want sovereignty. CUKs want to remain in the EU.